Data is all around us. Here's the Wall Street Journal title page for May 4th, 2020. On the left, global coronavirus deaths top 250,000. On the right, we see how the stock market is doing with a time graph. And in the middle article, the coronavirus sweeps across Brazil. How do we know that? Just opinion? In the story, this graph is provided, and the graph tells a story. Brazil has the highest 5-day moving average since April. Things may be getting better since the peak has been reached. Watch out, Ecuador, your graph is on the rise. Like a good newspaper article, data needs to be interpreted to give us the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, why, and if possible, how. What would that be for this article? Who? It's Brazil and others. What? It's COVID-19 deaths. When? March 9th through May 2nd. Where? Countries in our world. Why? To know which countries are worse. And how? Well, we're going to have to read the article to find out. News writers include graphs to tell stories that they have discovered. But for us to discover a story, we need raw data. That means the data as numbers, not put into a graph type. This leads us to a two-way table. What happened on the Titanic at 11:40 p.m. the night of April 14th, 1912? It struck an iceberg. In less than 3 hours, the mighty ship sunk. More than 1,500 people died. But there are more details to the story if we dig deeper into the data. This is a two-way table. It shows two variables, class and survival. We can talk about the probability if we think of a lottery where we randomly select a person on board. This is mathematically how we say, what is the probability of randomly selecting a first-class passenger? As you can see, it's almost 15%. We can use words like and or to join columns or rows of data. We can join the first two columns together by saying or. We are randomly selecting a first-class passenger or a second-class passenger. What if we do this? Did you learn when you were young that and means to add? So how can this probability be 0? It's because we are randomly selecting people. Imagine there was a lottery. Each passenger had to write his name on a ticket. Also, they had to write which class cabin they were staying. No one was staying in 2 different cabins. This would be an invalid entry. Only one answer works here. Or what if someone said, which of these is your favorite? You must choose only one. No putting your hot dogs into your pasta, although it is very delicious. When this happens, the events are called mutually exclusive. It's like the 2 circles. They don't overlap. If you're in circle A, you're not in circle B, and vice versa. Here's an example of using and where the result is not equal to 0. That's because first is a column and alive is a row. They intersect each other. If you stand right at the intersection of 2 streets, you're actually on both streets simultaneously. Are there any strange things you can do with the two-way tables using or? Yes. If you cover all the options, the probability of a random selection is 1 or 100%. Pretty boring. But what about when a row and a column intersect using or? When using probability and random selection, the word or generally means to add. So, can we just add all those who bought second-class tickets with those who survived and were alive? You might think so, but there's a flaw here. The answer will be too big. To illustrate, let's examine the 2 groups separately. The total for the second class includes 118, but so does the total for those found alive. Those are the same 118 people. We don't want to double count them. Does that mean we just need to be careful and add each cell of the table we need? We could, but there's an easier way. We just have to remember to subtract the intersection of the two events. That way, it won't be double counted. Let me give you another example. I'm inviting 10 friends over for a party. I ask them, how many people like Coke? 8 people say, I like it. Then I ask, how many people like Pepsi? 7 people say, I like it. Do I now have 15 friends? Is it just 8 plus 7? No, it must be that some people like both Coke and Pepsi. Is there a way to figure out what everyone likes or doesn't like? Yes, but I need to ask more questions. We can fill in 2 of these boxes by subtraction, but we still need one more piece of information. Let's suppose 2 of your friends say, we don't like either one. The rest will fill in by subtraction. So here's how that technique could be applied to our party. But wait, isn't that just the chance of selecting someone who likes Coke? It is, because 7 who like Pepsi are included in the 8 who like Coke. Let's practice this concept. Here are 4 questions to try. Stay tuned until the end for the answers. In 2018, the Los Angeles Rams posted a 13-3 record. In fact, they were so good that year, they played in the Super Bowl, losing to the Patriots.